welcome everybody to Webinar 5, Better Social Media for Your Business. And we've named this presentation Better Social Media Use for Your Business because we appreciate that most of you will be here for marketing to your customers. So what we'd like to do is try to share with you some of the kind of best practice tips that seem to be the kind of next step that operators are looking for to ensure that they've got everything in place that they can have in place to get results on social media, because we do appreciate how much time it takes to be successful with digital marketing. It's, you know, as we've talked about, time is the new currency as opposed to dollars and writing checks so much. So let's just show you what we're going to cover. So I'm going to talk about Facebook at length, given it is, you know, a massive platform that all businesses are now using, and just some best practice tips there. A little bit around Instagram, and finish off with some statistics and just a brief coverage on other social media platforms, and just sort of helping you with some defining thoughts in terms of whether you should be using them or not. And I'm going to be using examples, probably more so than full case studies. We don't have time to do full case studies, but examples of other tourism businesses who we observe are getting quite a lot of benefit from social media throughout the presentation. So first of all, Facebook for marketing and customer service. And what I'd like to start with is just a few and importance of social media for your business and its role in the path to purchase for your customers. And where there's some terrific information is in the Census social media report. So this report was published towards it was the middle of 2016. They do it every year. So it's very useful in that it is interviewing or surveying a couple of thousand Australians, and includes both consumers and also businesses. So it's easily found online if you just do a search for Census social media report. And some key statistics that come out of that is that 69% of internet users have a social media account. 50% use social media daily, and 25% check social media more than 5 times per day, with 49% checking social media first thing that they do in the morning or when they get up. And 72% most likely to use a smartphone for social media. So once again, we see that really expanding convergence between mobile technology, social media and the internet that is really driving a lot of consumer addiction, if you like, to the abundance of information that they have available to them on their super powerful computers in their pockets. Consumers interact with businesses on social media. Only 14% use social media to research products and services. And that's a really important point. You know, we think about where does social media belong in that purchase journey? Yes, it's fantastic that we see for to research products and services, but we know that the vast majority of our target markets are using the web and Google for searching in the first instance. Only 12% research holiday and travel offers, but having said that, it is the highest used category for research products and services, research products and services on social media. So it's, you know, highly relevant to travel and tourism. I think what's great is that 1 in 3 consumers are happy to follow a brand or business on social media. And the research showed us that 41% discounts if they do that, 30% giveaways, 26% coupons. But over the years, we're seeing that this expectation is reducing, and that more people are just willing to follow a brand or a business to stay up to date with their offers, or because they like them and they want to be able to you know, book with them and connect with them through Messenger, etc. 30% are expecting exclusive offers, and 24% tips and advice. And I think that's really valuable for us in the tourism industry, because that's something we can be really good at, is for our loyal customers exclusive offers or seasonal offers, and then 24% the tips and advice. We're really good at providing helpful information, tourism businesses particularly, about holidaying in your destination in the Mackay region. The role of social media for travel, I think those statistics, social media for marketing and customer engagement, as compared to, its full focus being on selling. But what the report doesn't expose is the power of advocacy for travel using social media, because we know that advocacy, as we've spoken about before, is such an important part of your business now because word of mouth is so powerful. Social media is the platform, be it on, TripAdvisor essentially started off as a social media platform or an online community. Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat being the place where friends are referring, businesses to others just by bragging about the holiday that they're having. And so that is a genuine mechanism for referral. So because people love to share and brag when they are on holiday. That, of course, provides you with access to a very large marketing team, given the size of these social media platforms, and reviews, of course, are a critical component of social media to support your sales. When people are about to press the button to buy from you, having reviews on hand is very important. So if we want to understand, where social media really plays a role, of course, we've seen this diagram before in this webinar series. You're probably a little over it now, that, understanding your customer's purchase journey is really important. And then overlaying onto that what you're doing at each one of those stages. So at the dream and plan stage, you're looking to attract and engage them. Book stage, looking to convert them, and experience and advocate, you're looking to delight them. So in our opinion, where social media has the most influence is in that dream stage, where people are, imagining what holiday they could take, and they're being intercepted, those thoughts are being intercepted by their friends and family who are posting on social media, or things that you're putting out there about the destination or about your business, or just interesting information, fans that can stimulate, move them through, that motivational period through to the plan phase. And of course, at the advocate stage as well, that's where the consumer themselves is so active whilst they're on holidays. It doesn't mean that you're not going to use social media to influence people in that planning and booking phase, absolutely. Or, if you're an event organizer in the experience phase, social media has a fantastic opportunity for events to be sharing. And so there's lots of other instances in the travel purchase cycle where social media is relevant, but if we were to give it a prioritisation, it would be in the dream and advocate stages. Social media is an important facet of your overall digital marketing strategy. It really needs to be integrated within the strategy, letting content, as we've discussed before, be the key driver for it to be successful in all aspects, but in particular with social media. It is all about you providing the most interesting and high quality content that your audience is going to want to see, that's going to get you the following and the engagement that is going to mean that your efforts are worthwhile. The common mistakes we see when we're out working with businesses is an expectation to measure return on investment and generally conversions just in sales or bookings. And we'll discuss measuring in this webinar series, but conversion in social media and digital marketing is all different things. And because you are focusing at building awareness and attracting people in the early stage with social media, then conversion is different things. It's about engagement and click-throughs and not necessarily actually converting to a sale. It can be, but in most cases it's not. Expecting high levels of engagement. So remembering that the sales funnel is wide at the top and narrows down as people come through that attract and engage and convert. So actually getting that engagement in that early stage, if you're getting a small percentage of engagement, that's not necessarily a bad thing, and depending on the platform, that can be quite powerful, and we'll talk about that. Talking too much about their own business. So businesses really need to understand about how to balance the content, and we'll cover that. Not having a planned approach, going ad hoc with social media is a bit of a hiding to nowhere, because you're putting some time into it, putting a lot of time into it here and there, but not having a planned approach means that you won't make the most of your time and effort. Not being consistent or active enough approach. So these platforms and your followers and those social online communities, they actually reward businesses through, who are consistent and posting often and regularly. That is, your reward is a greater following and greater engagement. And not appreciating the different purposes and audiences of the different platforms. We meet a lot of business operators who tend to think of social media in one lump. But if you can really think of each online community as having its own demographic and its own purpose for being, then it can help you to distinguish how to get better effort from that. So these are some of the things we'll cover off in this presentation. So what we'll cover with regard to Facebook, I'd like to talk about some of the strategic foundations and the importance of getting them right first, and then some fundamental tips to get good results without paying Facebook. So how do you get better organic reach, and creating engaging posts, and how measuring can assist you, and then a little bit of an introduction into Facebook advertising. In fact, I'm just going to launch this poll question now about Facebook advertising. So that's up for you and you can answer that. Should have popped up on your screen now, and if I can just ask you guys to just answer that. There's no right or wrong answer with this, by the way. This just helps me understand where you're at with advertising. So we've got 9 votes there so far, 3 yes, 4 no's, and 2 thinking about advertising on Facebook. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to show you some examples, as I mentioned before, and these are some social media pages you can follow on Facebook, because they are very active and they do virtually all of their marketing through social media. One is Symbio Wildlife Park. In fact, Tourism Australia really picked them up as a shining example and share a lot of their content. And if you saw the photo bombing fly on the koala, if you do a search for that on YouTube, photo bombing butterfly on koala, you will see just how viral that went. And these guys were responsible for that. It was accidental, but because they are so active on social media and so invest so heavily in content, they were in the right place at the right time. And I think the key attitude and philosophy that they run with is they just keep focusing on the content that their audience want. And yes, when you have a zoo or an animal wildlife park, you are never short of interesting content. But these guys are a great example of that, and they continue to invest in it. The other thing is they are continually authentic to their brand and telling their story. And if that's something I can impress upon you, you don't have to try to be anybody else in social media. You know what the brand of your product is, whether it's friendly, casual, luxury, adventurous, family focused. It could be a number of those things. Just staying true to those brand qualities and speaking with your audience in line with that brand personality is really important. Another one to follow is to follow Ocean Rafting, who are in the Whitsundays and also further north, and they won a tourism award recently at the national level. And I had the pleasure of meeting Jen Claxton, the owner of this business, last year, and she does all her marketing virtually through Facebook and Instagram. And the thing that philosophically, the change that she made that really gave her more success was allocating resources. Now, I know they're still a small business in tourism, but they're obviously taking these boats out. And she really empowered her staff. She trained them and she empowered them. So they all have GoPros, they all have guidelines to follow about what's acceptable behaviour on Facebook for the business and for themselves personally. And so they have, once that's understood and they know what content is required, it's given her an incredible amount of material to be able to have a great presence on Facebook and Instagram. The other thing is to enable sharing. So wherever this is possible, provide free Wi-Fi so that people, when they are at your business or having the experience that you're offering, they can share, because that's what you want. You want to get them while that emotion is high and they're really enjoying, because you've lost that moment afterwards and they're going to be less likely to or to write a quick review on Facebook or wherever they're doing their reviews if they don't have that Wi-Fi access. Now, these are some of the fundamentals in making sure that your Facebook page is set up properly and you're making the most of the real estate and what Facebook offers you to have a really the best possible organic presence. And it's 4 areas. One is about the setup of your page. The other one is about how you're posting. The other one is about using Facebook Insights, and also we will move into an introduction for advertising as well. And these 4 streams is how Facebook advocate to think about your business on Facebook. So first one is about how you set up your page. Now, this is another business to follow, which is Falls Cottages and which is Falls Winery on Tambourine Mountain. So they do, virtually all of their marketing via social media as well. Now, some of the things that are important to note here is make sure that you have a really consistent profile image. So this would typically be your logo. This is the brand image that they're going to find when they go to your website or Instagram. It's on your business cards. This is represents your brand. So your logo is typically what you would have there in your profile shot. Your cover shot should be representative of the experiences that people can have in your business. This is where you want to be able to say to people when they come onto your Facebook business page, this is about you. We understand you. I'm not necessarily a fan of this particular cover image with the tiles on it, but it is one way people like to do it. I think one terrific image, and you can change that. You can change that monthly, seasonally, with particular campaigns you're running or changes in the business. Don't be afraid to change that bigger cover image. Make sure that you have verified your business. Most business types can verify their business on Facebook, and this tells Facebook that it is the official business page for your business, because sometimes other consumers and other people have started a Facebook page about your business in the absence of one in the earlier days. So this tells Facebook that this is the official one. And as Facebook is getting smarter and smarter with its search and its algorithms, so you want that tick on there. Now, behind that cover image, make sure you use the space behind there. So add a description to the image. So as an admin to your page, you will have the opportunity to add a description to that image, give it a location, add your web address in there. So tell people about that image so that, once again, you're just using the real estate that Facebook give you. And these are all words. This is all text that the Facebook search algorithm can search over. With your business information, make sure you filled out everything you possibly can to provide people with quality information about your business. So in the about information, in your settings, go through each one of those fields and make sure that you've got good search engine friendly terms in there. Just like when you're writing your Google My Business tagline, or writing copy for your website, make sure that you are using phrases that are the sorts of things that people would be searching for. And add milestones as well. Facebook rewards businesses for doing everything they can to provide useful information to the 1.8 billion people who are on Facebook. Respond to every review. So reviews are turned on by default on Facebook, and we'd highly recommend you leave them on because a lot more people are adding reviews. Facebook and Google reviews are growing at a very fast rate now. So make sure you respond to every review, just like it's best practice to do so on TripAdvisor and other review platforms. And be quick and responsive to messages and comments. So I'm sure that many of you are experiencing people messaging your Facebook business page as a means to contact you. And that's just a factor of it being quick and convenient with people on their phones. It's really quick to fire off a message as opposed to waiting for you to answer the phone. It's just the habits people have developed. And I think particularly for hospitality businesses, restaurants, etc., it's becoming very common. So make sure you really have got your notifications turned on in Facebook. You've got notifications turned on your phone so that you can very quickly respond to reviews, to messages, and to comments. So when somebody makes a comment against a post that you've made, go in there and have a quick conversation with them. That is what's going to encourage engagement and make that individual even more loyal to your business. And remember, you've got the response rating. If you're responding well and quickly to people, you'll get gold stars around that from Facebook, and they'll show people who visit your page that you are a frequent and quick responder. So it's all about great customer service. Now, balance in your posts, and this is one of those areas that people are a little unsure about, and they find that this benchmark is quite useful for them. Now, remembering that the people who are coming regularly or are already following your page, they already like you. They've already been through that emotional decision of going, I'm going to like this business. So what you don't want to do is bore them to death by keeping telling them about your business and asking them to like those posts. What you've got to do is see yourself as being part of that online community and giving them information and imagery and information that is really interesting. And a way to do this is to think about let's talk first of all about being entertaining. So, if you can make people laugh, if you can give them something that's really inspirational, remembering that there are common threads between yours and that audience, the things that they like. So, think about being funny, think about being inspirational. And then think about education. So 30% educational. What is it about your destination, your part of the industry, your niche that you're in, your, the types of activities you offer? How can you provide information that is educational and interesting to your... Think about your business behind the scenes. What's changing in your business? So without selling, how do you talk about your business? Get in behind there, tell them how things work, tell them what's changing, profile your staff, all sorts of interesting things about your business, but only 10% selling. So, this is a rule of thumb for you. It can vary, of course, but a lot of people find that as a useful guideline. So when you're planning your posts, you have this in front of you, so you can keep that balance going, and then you can see what people react to best. Another thing that is incredibly important is cadence. So what we mean by this is being regular and consistent with your posting. Now, some businesses are posting 3 times a day, and the research that we looked at probably about a year ago, showed us that businesses who posted 3 times a day, that was an optimum level on Facebook. And we saw that more than 3 times a day, actually, there was a bit of a fall away in terms of engagement, but 3 times a day was optimal. For small businesses, if you can post once a day and do it every day and be consistent, that would be amazing. And it's that consistency that you will be rewarded with. And I've just thrown in some examples here of Witches Falls Cottages. So if you follow them and the others I've suggested, I'm sure there's some, your own page is probably doing well and others in your area. Just have a look at what they're doing and how they're balancing their posts and posting at least once a day. Now, give every post a purpose. So, think about why you're creating that content. Is it about building more loyalty? Is it about growing brand awareness? Building more loyalty would be about, those people who are following you now really engaged. Here's an example of romantic getaways. So, they've got this really romantic kind of post here with this quote on it. And you can see that got excellent engagement with 139 likes and 38 shares. And so they gave their audience they wanted. They've also, in addition, grown brand awareness because of these shares, which is fantastic. And on average, Facebook pages, consumers, people saw that it would be included in its total reach statistic. But that's a fantastic result for a small business. So think about what you're trying to achieve and balance that off as well. And that comes through from developing a content plan. So make it easy for your followers to get directly to the campaign you're running. So where you are doing, posting to encourage people to go and book an exclusive offer for your Facebook followers, or just a special that you're running, make sure that you do have a landing page on your website that is specific to that, so that they feel that they're getting something really special. And it's very good then for you for tracking to see how many people have actually come to that page. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the technical aspects of tracking shortly, but at a minimum, have a specific landing page for that offer and make sure it's really easy to get to. It's just one click and they're there from the post. Community. Now, this is something we should all be doing within our industry, and that's certainly what we do on Tourism Tribe. Is everybody who joins Tourism Tribe, we go and we make sure we list on the Tourism Tribe Facebook page. We go and like that business and we share one of your posts. So something that is to go and like each other's pages. And if some people aren't too sure how to do that often. So what this means is, first of all, what the consumer sees is what your business page has liked. And then you can go into see pages feed to see what other businesses that you have liked are posting. Now, how we do that is, so there you can see some of the likes from the Tourism Tribe page, and we get suggestions as well. How you do that, and I find this almost impossible to do on phone apps. Some of them don't even allow it. But if you do it on a desktop or a laptop, what you do is you search for the business page. So say in the case of the Mackay Regional Tourism Organisation, search for Visit Mackay, come onto the Facebook page, and then you see these 3 dots, you click on there and you then select like as your page. Once you've done that, if you're an admin of that, you have to be an admin of your own page for this list to come up. It will give you a list of options of which page you can like it as. So because Tourism Tribe has already liked this, it doesn't come up in that list, but these are that I'm an admin of. So then you just select that page and say submit. And to do that, to go and like each other's pages and then be active on there. You know, set aside some time regularly to go and have a look at what people are posting and go and like and share and comment on that. It's great to tell Facebook that you support, you know, there's added activity on the pages as a result of you supporting it. Tracking your Facebook performance. So I'm sure all of you have been into your Facebook Insights. You get a regular email from Facebook to take you directly through to your. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, and it's very self-explanatory. I love Facebook Insights. It is so easy to follow and a lot less sophisticated than Google Analytics. So I'm sure it will grow over time, but at the moment, level of technical knowledge is practically nil to be able to follow. Fantastic. So of course you get the overview that shows for the last 7 or 28 days what activity has occurred. It's quite good to you know, take a snip of this and track it, because then every 28 days you can actually see the progress that you're making. I really enjoy, so I'm just going to see, I think there might be a question there. I'm just going to have a look. Connection keeps interrupting. Okay, can't hear it. Okay, let's just see. Nellie, is it still a problem? Is it a consistent problem? I'm just finding out if you could let me know, is everyone having problems if I'm dropping out? Because what I'll do is I'll change internet connections if that's the case. Yes, okay, great. All right, what I'm going to do, now and then you drop out. Okay, well that's not very good. We don't want to now and then drop out. So I'm just going to, thank you. I'm just going to change over. I'll leave the slides where they are, and I'm just going to change internet connections. It should pull me straight back into the webinar, so just bear with me, it won't be a tick. I'll just need to go out of display mode with the presentation, won't be a tick. Okay, we're back on. If you could just let me know, is that better? You'll let me know if it's not, but if you can just let me know if that appears to be a little bit better now. I'll just keep talking and then I will go to share screen. Is that any better? Let's have a look. Okay, sorry guys, I don't know what the problem is, but let's have a go anyway. And look, if we need to, we're obviously recording it and Nellie's already got a copy of the slides, but if I need to re-record it, if that's the problem as well, we can do that too. All right, great. Thanks for your support. Okay, let's get back in here. The other area that I just wanted to mention is the posts. I think this is full of terrific information and it is probably one of the areas that you need to pay the most attention to. Looking at the reach that you are getting compared to the engagement and also the number of posts compared to the engagement you're getting over a certain period of time, they are really good KPIs when you're talking about Facebook. So if you add up the number of posts that you're doing in a month and then also add up and work out the average of your engagement, that is a good way to think about what your engagement level is. So what you're looking at is the ratio between those two things, because what you want to do is see that the engagement is strong and growing stronger, and that if you are increasing how often you're posting, if you can see that your engagement is improving with the number of posts that you're doing, that is generally a sign that you're posting well and that it's paying off for you to be posting more often and consistently. Also individually, I love this comparison that you can see for individual posts, both organic and paid, but we're particularly interested in organic here. What's working for you? Is it things that you include a video in? They get the most engagement. That would typically be the case. Is it things that are funny? Often that's the case if that fits with your brand of your business to do humour. So have a look at this and then do more of what works. The other audience to understand, you know, the demographic of the audience that are following you and visiting your page. And then also you can see other statistics about the other menu items in terms of what days and times they are mostly online, which is interesting as well. But I love the demographic profile, and that's really useful for you, setting you up before you go into advertising on social media, is to understand, you know, your audience that's using your Facebook page as it is. So the other thing that's really useful, and this is one of the great things about digital marketing, is being able to see what your colleagues and competitors are doing online. So there's a couple of easy things you can do. One is just to go to a page and click on their likes. So you may have noticed that the number of likes, how many people like this page, is clickable. So when you click on that, it's going to show you how many people are talking about this, which is a great indicator of engagement, how many people have checked in, total page likes, and how it is growing. It's good to see, you know, that it's going up. That's what you're looking for all the time, is that, you know, small increases all the time, and new page likes as well. So just simply click on their likes to see that. There's another one with ocean rafting. So we can see, you know, they're a business like this, and a lot of tourism businesses, you would expect to see new page likes to be quite active, because people for the first time who are experiencing your business will be liking the page. The other tool that's really useful is by a analytics company called Meltwater, and it's called Likealyzer, likealyzer.com, likealyzer.com. And what you can do here is you just put the name of the Facebook page in, and it gives you a little report card on the page. So as you know, Tourism Australia is incredibly successful on social media, and they get a score of 89 out of 100. So if they can't get 100, I don't think anyone can get 100%. So don't be distraught if your business is much lower than this. What we typically see, and I'll just show you some others, so Witches Falls Cottages, 70%. That's a good score for a small tourism business. Often we see them lower. The great thing is that it will give you a few suggestions, see these recommendations on what you can do, and, you know, largely it's covering off about, you know, posting and, you know, length of posts, a few suggestions. It's not fully comprehensive by any stretch, and it gives you some tips, etc., and you could improve on your vision. The other thing it does is, so this is ocean rafting, 61%. And so I hold ocean rafting up as a really good example, because I know how successful they are on social media. It works really well for their business, but 1%. And it also shows the average like rank in their categories and similar brands as well. So you can see that they're in their pack. So that's certainly worth doing on your own business, and certainly worth doing on some of your competitors as well, to see how they rank. So an introduction to Facebook advertising. We saw that there were four people who are already doing Facebook advertising. So this is purely an introduction. And I would like to preface this by saying I am no expert on Facebook advertising. I certainly understand the concepts and have done a little bit of it, but there are experts on Tourism Tribe, and probably some of you are expert in this field as well, which will have a lot of experience with this. I'm going to hit some of what I think as a digital strategist are some of the most important points for people who are thinking about Facebook advertising or haven't tried it. Yeah, basically it's a form of online marketing, and this is using the term online marketing to define paid advertising online. And there are all sorts of types of online marketing, and the principles for measurement and what you need to have in place are the same regardless of the type of online marketing or online advertising. And that's makes it in our diagram of paid media, owned media, live book page, website, which is all in the comments and engagement you get on social media, reviews. The paid media piece is that covers off online advertising. And we do this to be able to attract more people. So in our model of prioritising digital marketing strategy activities that you've seen before, attract, engage, convert, delight, we mostly do paid advertising to attract more people. It can be in these other areas as well, but predominantly that is where we do online advertising. Now, what you have in place for running online ads, be it on Facebook or Google AdWords, whatever it is, it's the same thing. You need to have a good online reputation, because otherwise your investment is worth diddly squat if they get there and see issues that people are talking about in the business. Definitely off their website. 6% of people are using social media on their phones, and more than 50% searching on their phones every day. Online booking functionality so that they can convert. If you get them through the sales funnel from, attraction, engagement, conversion on a fantastic, deal and really compelling information and offer, you need them to be out then and there. And tracking. So, having Google Analytics set up. If you're doing Google advertising, you'd want AdWords conversion tracking. And I'm going to mention Facebook Pixels. We've already talked about Facebook ad sites, insights, and Facebook advertising ads manager has access into more detailed insights as well. I just wanted to share this with you for those who are unsure, because it's not uncommon with businesses on their websites not to have Google Analytics installed. So don't think that that is a big issue. As soon as you get it installed, it will start collecting data for you. But the way to find out whether you have Google Analytics installed or not, the information is here. So basically, if I was to do it on my computer, I would just because I'm on a Mac, I just go to the website, right-hand click on that, and I can view source. And then I can do a search to see if Google Analytics is there. So it's really easy to do. What you're trying to do is get to reveal source or show source of a page. And then you just go Control F once you've got all that HTML sitting there. You can't change anything, you can only see it. Just go Control F, type in the word analytics or Google, and if you see something that looks like this, googleanalytics.com analytics, something that mentions Google Analytics, it means that it has been set up by your web developer. And then if you don't have access to that account, you need to ask your web developer to set that up for you. But if anyone has an issue with that, please contact us through Tribe and we can talk you through that. It's really important. So why advertise on Facebook? March last year, Facebook had 3 million active advertisers. That's a 50% increase in 1 year and a 68% increase since 2010. It has become an advertising platform. Facebook advertising is about demand generation versus demand. So it's about generating awareness and attracting people. It's about building your audience. It's about getting more people to know about your business. That's its main purpose. As opposed to Google AdWords, people are searching already. They already have put in a search query and you're responding to that. The detailed or laser targeting your ideal audience, that is really sophisticated in Facebook. So you can get to audiences that are very well defined for your product. And Facebook's advertising platform, it's constantly innovating and improving because this is how they make their money. The other thing to know is that with the platforms like Facebook, with its size, you know, its active monthly users, 1.8 billion. In Australia, you've got 11 million daily users of Facebook. It's a massive marketplace and it's very busy. And now people are, you're struggling to get any cut through at all with organic posting. You have to still do it to achieve any results. You don't want to only do advertising. You need to give that community love and give your business every chance it can have in that organic world. But really, once you've got that better down and you know what you're doing and you've got, you know, some understanding of what works with your organic posts, then you really need to look at Facebook advertising to get cut through. Basic process for getting started is you set up your ad account, choose your ad type, you work out your target market, you do the creative. So your first ad, make sure that, you know, you work through that creative process of creating that image or that post. And campaigns, you set up your billing, you work out what ad set you want and how the billing is going to work, and it can be very narrowed and controlled with a budget set. And then you look at the metrics and do the analysis about what works. The easiest way to get to Facebook advertising is from your, there's a little blue drop down arrow when you're on a laptop or desktop for Facebook on the top right hand side. Just click on that and go to create adverts. That's one of the easiest ways. And of course, Facebook is always throwing you up suggestions to advertise as well, so you can follow that link through. The great thing about it is that it guides you through whether you want your ad to be about awareness or consideration or conversion. It actually steps you through that. So all of these dot points on this slide are covered off through this process. And the best thing to do to learn how to do this is just to get there and create an ad to. Even if you don't put it live, just go through the process of creating it and choosing its purpose and choosing the audience you want it to appeal to. Conversion pixel, you may have heard of these. So what this is a tiny little image, it's a tiny little piece of code that you or your developer adds to your website, and it allows Facebook to know when somebody from the Facebook community goes onto your website, so that they can be, they're identified then as somebody who is interested in your business, and Facebook can then put them into that segmentation, and that's very useful then for segmentation, for advertising to them for you and for businesses like yours, and also for tracking. So what are they doing if you're running a Facebook ad? So you definitely need to have that. And what you can do, you can go and create the pixel yourself as part of setting up your ad manager, but you have the option to email the code to your web developer. You don't have to try to insert it yourself. Audience targeting, incredibly important, both on any online advertising, and of course, you know, whichever platform you're working in. It's very sophisticated these days. So you can go with demographic targeting, or you can get down to interest-based, which is fantastic for niches. You can get down to custom audience. So, and this can be, you can pull, if you've got an email database, you need a minimum of 1,000, but you can feed that to Facebook to then target those individual pieces. And lookalike audience from your Facebook database. Who are the people that look like these people in terms of their demographics and their interests and location, etc. They can be targeted as well. You get to think about what placements you want to make. You can either let Facebook choose that for you, or you can choose particular platforms. Because Facebook owns Instagram, this is all integrated with Instagram, so you can share ads across there as well. And you can choose specifically for things to go out over Messenger, or particularly for mobile. One of the things I think I skipped over before was, I just had a little note at the bottom here: boost your posts. Don't do this. All the research says that boosting is easy and it's getting more sophisticated. It used to be that it just came up to your existing followers, but it's much broader than that now. But all the research says, don't bother, go down this more structured campaign, creating an ad path, and you'll get better results. Budget and schedule, you can really control this. You can set a budget as low as, $10 or less if you want to. So that's a great way to test out this environment. And, or you can get much more sophisticated with it and let it put a start date on it, end date on it, or, a lifetime budget for that campaign. Ad formats and images, there's all different types here. We don't have the time to go through all of them, but it's very open for you to be creative in terms of whether you use a carousel, which is 2 to 10 scrollable images, right through to a canvas, which is a combination of video and still images. And you can either pull images from your page, or you can use free stock images. Shutterstock is one of the places you can go for those, or purchase them for $1 each, etc., or upload your own images. 20% text rule. So, text should only be 20% of your total post. What you want is a really thumb-stopping image that's going to capture their attention. And Facebook give you all of the information about how to structure that and make it really intriguing, so that people will stop and it will be eye-catching and get their attention. And make sure you have a really punchy headline, landing page that's specific to the deal, landing page on your website, and a call to action button. While I'm on landing pages, there's a whole lot of information about how to build a good landing page, the elements of that. That could be another training session into itself, but it's really important to make sure that you get that right as well. You don't want to lose them at that point. So Instagram by way of difference, it's a really creative content platform, and it's for short attention spans. It's not as full and functional as Facebook. Facebook has really become a solid business tool now, with a lot of different information in it about the business and reviews, etc., maps, whereas Instagram is really still about the beautiful imagery and the use of hashtags, so that audience, that huge 600 million people, can get through the information and find what interests them. And you're talking about a slightly younger audience as well, while Facebook, the audiences, they're looking pretty level now in terms of the age groups that are on Facebook, where you've still got that profile that's younger, though it is changing. We're seeing that age group in their middle years, 50 plus, that is growing now on Instagram as they're getting more familiar with the platform and starting to use it. But the great thing is, given it is a smaller audience and it is so singular in its purpose, it gets better engagement with organic posting than Facebook does. And because we're in the tourism industry, we've got plenty of great images to share. It's a very good platform for tourism. This is a post that I made down on Kangaroo Island, and I try to only put great images as a consumer, and I say the same thing to businesses on Instagram. This is a place for your great standout images, whereas, you might be doing other things on Facebook. I think for me, Instagram is more about fantastic inspirational imagery. And, if you're going to decide, do you use Instagram or not, just find out what your audience is using and put your energy there. Follow Australia. So Tourism Australia's digital team does a fantastic job. They are so successful on Instagram. You need to be watching what they do and participating in that community. It's an open platform and it's got longevity. So, you know, most people make their profiles open on Instagram, which is great. And when you post something on Instagram, you can be getting likes and comments on that post months later because of its searchability with the hashtags, and people, you know, pick them up and then they comment, and you know the conversation keeps going on, whereas it's very, you know, one hit only in Facebook these days, whereas Instagram, you'll continue to get the benefit of it. And it can be used really effectively because of that to grow your audience. So definitely go and follow Visit Mackay and others in your destination, like we talked about with Facebook. Post at least once per day and be consistent. Exactly the same rule of thumb. Don't be afraid to use video. It has its purpose. Whilst your video is not normally going to be super high quality because you've probably taken it on your phone, this is where you can bring in that balancing rule again, but I think it's a bit different here on Instagram. I think Instagram, you're, you know, 80% inspiration, you know, and then the rest is kind of education about your business and sales. So video is great for education, to show what's going on in business. And, you know, but you'll have a feel for it. You know what your audience likes. So, you know, these are not hard and fast rules. Filters to make your images look better. Use them to brighten up your images and give them, you know, eye-catching colour, and use emojis. And there's a recent trend that is helping for posts to be more thumb-stopping as such. Enable the sharing with tagging. So your tagging strategy, make sure you know your commonly used hashtags. So if you're for your own destination, so for Visit Mackay, for this is Queensland, hashtag this is Queensland, hashtag see Australia, and that and then your own special interests. So if you're a sailing company or family-friendly holidays, or what is it that is going to help people amongst the Instagram community to find your information. So we say aim for about, you can put up to 30 on a post, but we don't recommend that. We say with the initial comment that you put with your image, put about your 6 best ones on there, then immediately come back in with a comment underneath the post and put the remainder of the hashtags in there. So aim for at least 11 hashtags in total. And I love this example. So Broome in Western Australia, Odyssey Expeditions, great image of a whale there, and then what they did is they hashtagged See Australia, and then that notified and gave authorization to Tourism Australia to pick that up and share it. And that's been fantastic because that's really grown the number of people by, you know, thousands who have actually seen that image, which is great for building brand awareness about their business and about the destination. You can also do stories. Now Facebook's brought in stories as well. Stories are there on Snapchat too, but these are 24 hours only posts that link together images and videos. You can put some words over them to help tell the story. To actually, they're really engaging for people, and they come up at the very across the top of their feed. So when there's a new story there of somebody they're following or the business they're following, it's right there front and center. So it really is an added advantage. If you really want to get into this, we would say, you know, look to create stories maybe once a week that give the highlights of things that have happened in the destination or around your business. So track your Instagram performance. So you've got Instagram Insights like on Facebook, but to get those, so you see the little diagram. I'm just going to check this quick comment. find out, oh great, question here from Renee, where can we find out more about the hashtags? Do we create them? Is there somewhere you can find a list of current hashtags, or are there rules of hashtags? Don't know much about this. Could you direct where I can find this? Tara Renee, if you just do there's a couple of things here. One is that Nellie at Mackay region, when she goes out, Nellie, if I can ask you, when you go out with information about this webinar, could you please include a list of the destination hashtags right up to Tourism and Events Queensland and Tourism Australia, and any of the regional hashtags, so that people can keep a copy of those in a handy place. A great place to keep them is in the notes on your phone, so you can just go in and copy them across and always include them. And then you will want to pick up hashtags or create hashtags that are specific to your business and special interests that your audiences would be interested in. So what you do is you just do a search for those hashtags, which you can do in Instagram. So just start, typing in the hashtag in the search, select tags, and you'll see which are the most popular. So you can try different ones. You can also just go into Google and search best hashtags, and there's several websites that come up where you can put in what you're thinking about creating, and it will show you. And you can create a hashtag for the first time, but if you can find one that's relevant and it's got a big following, you go with that one because there's already a lot of people following it. So hopefully that has helped there, Renee. Now, if you haven't already done this, to be able to get the insights for Instagram, you need to convert your page to a business profile. So about 12 months ago, Instagram brought this in. So all pages were set up exactly the same as if you're an individual rather than a business. Now they've created business profiles, and you just need to convert that. So you just go into your settings and it will give you that option, convert this account to a business profile. And if what you want to do is link it to the Facebook page, your business Facebook page, where of course I expect you are an admin of that business page, and then it links the two together, and that allows this interaction in the ads manager to be able to share ads on Instagram and to have insights available to you. And so it's much more beneficial. You can do ads directly then in your Instagram account to advertise on Instagram. So, and it also shows the consumer that this is a business page on Instagram. And that you'll see this increasingly, and you'll be able to tell which account you're in, because you might want to change between your personal Instagram account to post and comment, etc., and like things, and your business Instagram account. And you do that just by going up the top there, and you'll have that little pull down arrow, and you can quickly change, or just click in here, it'll guide you through there as well. You'll get used to it. It's pretty easy to move through. But have a look at the insights in there, which are under this little graph here. So just like with Facebook, you've got all very similar things. Now we're over time, and I hope that's okay. I'm just going to push through here. Now, other social media platforms I've listed here. This is some useful research, I think, out of the Census Social Media Report based on Australian usage. So you can see here on Facebook, we've got very consistent between male and female, and you can see that this is pretty similar in terms of the population in Australia using, and these are the people who were surveyed, so I don't know that we would have 95% of 65 plus, but the people surveyed in a couple thousand people. So it's probably skewed a little bit if the questionnaire was about social media, but you can see based on that data, which is pretty comprehensive anyway, the sample size, it's pretty consistent, the age groups. By comparison, Instagram, you've got a younger profile here. So you've got 58% of Australian social media users are on Instagram are between 18 to 29 and 36% 30 to 39. But I'm observing anecdotally that this it's spreading and it is growing, and you may be finding that in your businesses too. The other one to have a look at, I think, is Pinterest. If you've got a highly visual business, and a good example is a venue that's doing weddings is a great one, or recipes, foods, food focus, anything that's really visual and creative. Pinterest is great. You can see the demographic shift here to mainly women, and you can see between 30 and 49. So people who are really targeting women in that age group, it's good, and you've got something really picturesque or design based to share, then Pinterest is good too. And Snapchat, this is all about your younger audience. So you've got 60% of 18 to 29-year-olds in Australia using Snapchat. And if you've got kids who are under 30, you would know that, I'm sure. So just a little bit about Snapchat to finish off. What is Snapchat? We get asked this often, and personally I'm not going on Snapchat. I feel that I don't belong there, but I need to understand how it is useful in a marketing sense. And it is a real-time photo, video, text messaging application. It's about targeting the youth market. If your business is doing that, you need to seriously get your head around Snapchat and understand its relevance for you. It is growing very rapidly, estimated 3 million daily active users in Australia. It's very high engagement. They tend to really communicate back to the businesses and with each other. Geo filters is a very important aspect of it because it allows you to engage with a local audience. So Snapchat users in a local area. So fantastic for events, fantastic for local area advertising, if you're an attraction. So I think certainly, and there's great case studies. We've put a few examples in the Snapchat tutorial on Tourism Tribe about how Disneyland uses it, for example. And I know they're massive, but think about it on a smaller scale. Tourism operators can upload a snap or a post to their Snap story, and we're talking about stories before, which can be viewed by a large group of audiences. So you can really get to a lot of people in that younger age group. In a Snap story, each video is available to view for 24 hours before disappearing forever, just like stories on Facebook and Instagram. But you can also save stories in your memories and reshare them later on. So some takeouts from this webinar. Social media, it's just a way of life now, and the majority of businesses are using it for marketing. It's really important for brand marketing and to get engagement. So it's mostly relevant to travellers at the dream and advocate stages of travel, to your businesses at those stages. It's an important facet of your overall digital marketing strategy. I don't know how a business today can function really properly without some engagement in social media, given the activity that's on there by consumers. You need a keen understanding of your target markets to be able to develop meaningful social media strategies. So how you choose which channels, what content you create. Remember, we spoke about in webinar 2 developing personas, so that really helps you to work through that process. So webinar 2, if you didn't see that covers off developing personas. And there's also a tutorial called Smart Marketing Spend to help you. Get the strategic foundations right first on Facebook. So optimize your Facebook page real estate, verify your page with Facebook, implement guidelines. How are you going to use your Facebook page? How often are you going to post? Who's allowed to post in the organisation? Who's going to respond to reviews? Who's responsible at certain times during the week? Now, I appreciate that maybe I'm talking to people who are running a business solo, and that's fantastic. Good on you. So you may not need guidelines, but if ever you want to break from the business, it still might be useful to have that there. But the guidelines will empower, if you are working with a small team, it can empower your staff to do some of this for you. And to create content and post it in a timely way. Create a posting schedule, plan ahead. In the the digital strategy template that we shared with you in webinar 2, that has a link through to a Excel social media calendar that you might find useful. Write posts with purpose aligned to your marketing strategy. So don't just be ad hoc with this, plan it out. Even just plan monthly. Set goals and measure your performance. So what are you doing this for? Is it about growing your audience? Is it about growing the number of likes? Is it about getting higher levels of engagement and, you know, and getting them through to your website? Set some goals around those things and then track that. Support each other in Mackay Tourism by liking each other's pages and commenting and sharing. Understand the opportunities to target when you're going to pay for ads. So, you know, get the organic stuff right first, but then really think about, okay, what target market am I going after, and what offer am I going to put out there for them? Or if it's just about growing your audience, what really interesting content competition am I going to run? You know, the options are endless there. There's a Facebook hub on Tourism Tribe and a wealth of knowledge within the tribe where you can share and ask questions. It's very cost effective to advertise on Facebook, and you need to do it given the size of Facebook now. You used to be able to, I forgot to mention this before, but it's gone from like 17% to under 4% that you can expect to get in terms of reach on your posts. So that's a shame, but it's grown so big, and the algorithm has had to become so sophisticated, and they want to make lots of money on Facebook now through advertising. So you do need to consider Facebook advertising. Plan it, choose your objective. Look at installing the Facebook conversion pixel. If you want to do this properly, you'll do that. To be able to track that movement between Facebook and your website, it will give you an advantage and give you more opportunities for advertising. And take advantage of the wealth of audience targeting options that are available to you. So, you know, get really targeted with it. And don't set and forget, monitor the performance of your ads and then tweak them as needed. Instagram, a platform focused on creative visuals and beautiful photos. Its age profile is younger than Facebook. Audience is smaller, but engagement is stronger. So, you know, it's worth doing the organic posting there. But don't just, something I didn't mention before, it's another common mistake, is just plonking the same material, exactly the same post on Instagram and then sharing it on Facebook. You really do need, the image might be great to share on Facebook as well, but think about what the audience difference is and how they use it. Like, you don't want a stack of hashtags in Facebook. What you want is a meaningful comment there. And Instagram, learn your regional hashtags. So we're going to get Nellie to share those out, and tag to leverage your posts. Explore Snapchat if you are targeting the youth market. So there are basic learning tutorials on Instagram and Snapchat on Tourism Tribe. So let's have a look and see if we've got any questions. Okay, we haven't got any new questions there since the last one, but if you would like to ask a question, I'll be on standby. So I'd love you to think about what you're going to do with social media. I hope I haven't overwhelmed you. That wasn't the intention. It was to try to really decode some of this stuff and to put it in, you know, more strategic terms, but then some of the essential kind of how-tos. So, you know, really think about if there are some things now you might do, like go and optimize your Facebook page, maybe get your head around insights, look at what's working. Is it go into Instagram and, you know, create a business profile if you don't already have one, or convert that over, create a posting schedule, you know, really look at that. Think about the content that is going to be interesting and create a posting schedule for the next month. That would be a fantastic outcome if you don't already have that in place. And go into Tourism Tribe and ask some questions. If you haven't already joined Tourism Tribe, though, I reckon you will have now. There's the code again. So tourismtribe.com/join and get you your free membership for 12 months. It's TTWKSP. And then I'd just like to tell you about next webinar. It's the last one in the series. It is on the 10th of May, and it is going to be presented by email marketing guru Fabian Wintle. and Fabi has presented another one of these webinars previously, and you know how technically strong she is, and email marketing is something that she is all over, and email marketing is still a very strong tool for tourism businesses. They usually get good click-through rates from email marketing. So she's going to take you through how to set up an email marketing strategy. She's going to tell you about what data you need to collect, how to segment that database, what systems you can use. Be prepared, she's a MailChimp guru, so that'll be the one that she will give you the most information on, and how you can integrate it with your reservation system. So we'll just have a look. There's no more questions there, so I will close it out there. I'd like to thank you all for attending this 5th webinar, and don't forget to do your survey when Nellie sends it to you, so that she doesn't have to pay for these out of her own pocket and the funding can be acquitted. No, it's not that bad. I'm sure we can convince them otherwise, but she would really appreciate it. Hang on, we've just got a little comment come through in the chat. Thank you, Liz, for your help over the webinar. Thanks, Renee. I appreciate that. I'm glad it's been useful. And I want you to go and have a fantastic afternoon. Sorry we went over time. I knew I was pushing it. I had a bit too much material, but I didn't want to miss anything out. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Bye.